Hello guys, welcome back to Coding 101, and in this video we're going to be talking about variables. So what are variables exactly? A variable is just a way to store any value into an identifier. So for example, let's give an example. I'm going to create a variable called name, and then I'm going to assign it to my name, right? And now let's just print that out. So instead of typing this, the string, you can just type in the identifier and we get the output here of my name. So we've just basically saved this value in the identifier name. So now when you're coding, you can always refer to this identifier to get this value. Okay, there are a few rules when coming up with identifier names. First and foremost is case sensitive. So if you capitalize this identifier, it's not the same. So if we run this again, it will give you a name error saying name capital N is not defined. So because it's not the same thing, you can assign this to something else. Just put gibberish here. Let's run that. Then it's fine. So case sensitive, and you can only start with a letter or an underscore character. You cannot start with a number. This is actually invalid. So if we run this, it gives you an invalid syntax. You cannot do that. What you can do is you can use numbers, but it has to be in the middle or it has to be in the end. So this will be a perfectly suitable identifier. And that, there you go. So now let's look at multiple assignments. So what we can do is, maybe instead of name, I'm going to call it first name, and then I'm going to create a variable called last name. Last name is not files. Okay, now I'm going to print first name, and I'm going to print last name. Run that again, and you have my first name and my last name. So this is how you assign multiple variables, just one on each line, similar like these are called single assignments. So it's a single identifier to a single value. You can actually do multiple assignment. So let's see how we do it. So instead of just writing the identifier assigning to the value, you can separate the identifiers by commas. So you can put last name here, and then you can assign it again with the equal sign, and then you put the value for first name, and then separate it by a comma, then you put the value for last name. So now we've assigned multiple variables in a single line. So let's run that, same output. So there's also a way, if you have sort of list or tuple data types, you can unpack values from those lists into variables. Let's give an example. So if I have like a list of fruits, right? I'm gonna have like maybe an apple, orange, and banana. So if I create like variables separated by commas here, and we assign it to this list, and I'm going to print A, B, C here. Run. So there you have it. You just outputted all the fruits. So basically, what we've done here with a list is we've unpacked the values. So when we've separated it with commas, we've assigned A to also apple to A, orange to B, and banana to C. You can also do it with tuples. So if you have a tuples here, so with tuples, you have to cover your identifiers with a parenthesis as well. You run it, and you have it. You have assigned, you basically unpack the tuple. So that's basically it for this video. We've gone through what are variables, how to create it, and what the rules of creating the identifier. Lastly, we've seen how do you do multiple assignments and unpacking lists and tuples. So in the next video, we'll be talking about operators. So we've actually gone through first operator here. This is the equal sign, which is an assignment operator. What it does is it assigns a value into a variables. So we're going to take a look at different operators in the next video. So I will see you then. Thanks and goodbye.